Welcome, everybody. I'm excited for the turnout for our lead session today. I'm just going to do a quick intro. I'm Mrs. Smoller, if you don't know me. We have two guests with us today to share a lot of great information with you. Mrs. McIntosh will speak first about some of the resources available at the library that you might not be aware of, and then Mrs. Gasson will speak specifically about the teen section. With whatever time we have left towards the end, she has an activity, and we also have a scavenger hunt that's set up in a Google form that you can scan and start participating in just to go through finding some of the resources. And we have 4 $10 Starbucks gift cards. So the first 4 people that correctly answer those questions will receive a gift card too. So.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be here. I see a few familiar faces. I work with Vivian's mom. She is our assistant director at the public library. So we want to talk about what does the library have to offer for teens. But before we start that, I just want to go through a little bit of what the library is. So does anyone know where the library is? And you better know. Do you know where the municipal building is? The library is located in a municipal building. So if you go down Broad Street out of here and make a right, the building's on your right. So the library opened in 1955, before I was born, right around when my mother was born, and originally was housed in the Schoolhouse Arts and History building in the basement, and then moved over to our current location in a municipal building in 55. And that's when we were acknowledged as the municipal supported library. Last spring, each of you should have received a library card as part of the Allegheny County Library Association School Library Initiative. So you have a card. If you don't know where it is, you're going to have to find it. They were distributed here through the school. And that's just a way for us to make sure that you have access to other resources when the school is not available. There are resources available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with your library card. So our library is very large. We're the 4th largest library in Allegheny County. We have over 90,000, I don't want to say print, physical items, because we have CDs and DVDs and all kinds of interesting stuff from our Library of Things, which are non-traditional items. So we have a metal detector, a ghost hunting kit, a sewing machine, our musical instruments. We have guitars, we have a keyboard, some other really interesting stuff. Oh, blood pressure cuff. None of you would be interested in that. And we recently got self-checkout machines. So we have 2 self-check kiosks, and if you've used any self-check anywhere at Walmart or Giant Eagle, you'll know what to do. You just scan your card, scan your items, it'll print a receipt, and then you can go. And then you can see back here we have a teen banner that some teens did a number of years ago now. We did a program with Homestead, Carrie Furness, and they let the teens tag, so they made that banner for us with graffiti. So right around there from our self-check kiosks is the teen lounge. So we have some high top seating. There's always some cool bulletin boards and information about what's going on for teens. And there's also lower seating, and you can move those around. And it's a nice space. It's kind of off to the side, so if you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't have to. But we're always there if you have questions. And then right above the teen lounge is where the teen books are. So we have graphic novels, always some new books on display. And right now, and Mrs. Gaston will talk about this, we have Blind Date with a Book. You can tell them what that's all about? Okay. And there's some seating up there. We have some pamphlets here on FIA stuff, driver's license information, and there's you can see that window there is one of our study rooms, which you can also reserve. And then upstairs is where all of our nonfiction is. We have 16,000 square feet in our building. It's very open and airy. It's not dark and it's certainly not quiet. That is a myth. You have the ability here. There's network connections, so you can plug in your device. We have tables for collaborative work. And another thing that we got new last year was our patron pickup lockers. They were so popular, we're adding 2 more sections in April. And while the library is open 60 hours a week, we know that you are busy. And so you can request an item. If you can't make it to the library while we're open, you can request an item to be picked up at the pickup lockers. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So that's a general overview of what the library has or what the library is. But I want to show you how to navigate our website and some things that might be of interest to you. So our website is just bethelparklibrary.org. A few things that I think are really helpful for you to know about. If you're not sure what you want to do, you can go to How Do I? And it gives you a list of things. Well, get a library card. You all should have a library card. If you lost your card, you can get a replacement. You can access your account, see what's checked out on your account. Search the catalog, which is what I'm going to do. But there's also, you can reserve a study room here, how to connect to our Wi-Fi. You can print from your phone. You can send a print job from here and then go to the library and pick it up. How to use the pickup lockers and the self-check kiosks are on there as well. We're going to search something, just a book, and I always use the same book just because I know it. And it's an old book, so don't laugh at me. But Gone with the Wind. If we search in our search bar, and I changed it to search by title, you can search by keyword, you can search by author. And then search. It will come up with a list of everything with the title Gone with the Wind. So it'll come up with print, it'll come up with DVDs, audiobooks. But let's say that I want to place a hold on the book. I want the book. So you click place hold. You'll have to put in your library barcode. And then your PIN was set for the last 4 digits of your student ID. So if you have that. No, don't save nope, you can't use mine. Okay, so then it comes up, this is the book version. So here you want to say where you want to pick it up at. If you want to pick it up at the pickup lockers, so you can see here, it's Bethel Park Library or Bethel Park Pickup Locker. So if you want it put in the pickup locker, you have to select pickup locker. And then it'll verify we're getting Gone with the Wind. We want to pick it up at the pickup lockers, and then we can place our hold. I'm not going to do that right now. And also, on our website, we have library resources A to Z. So if you're looking, like how to print from your phone, you can look in there. If you want to look for our hours or anything that we have going on. We also have this e-resources tab. So in there you can search any of our databases if you're doing a report or a project for school. But you can also, we have access to over 500,000 ebooks, e-audiobooks, some e-video, nothing real popular. So you would select that, then you can come down here. You can see we have a lot of like Hoopla does more like magazines. There's not a lot of magazines being published in print anymore, but you can access them through Hoopla and read a digital copy. Libby is something that you should know about. That is where all the ebooks are. So I know when I travel, I don't want to carry a book. I have my tablet, or you can download it to your laptop, to your phone. I read off my phone as well. So Libby is very important for you if you're interested in borrowing ebooks or e-audiobooks. Now, we have a lot of audiobooks on CD. New cars don't have CD players anymore, so I don't anticipate us having them after probably another 5 years. But you can also search, and if you're doing the scavenger hunt, you'll have to use our website to find some of these things. And some of them you can just go into and search. Some of them, like Mango Languages. We have Mango Language Learning, so if you want to learn a new language, you hear Babbel commercials on the radio and on TV. This is free. Don't pay. Don't pay for it. And also, too, you can go to our calendar. We just implemented a new calendar county-wide, so any library you would look up, it'll look the same. So if you're looking for something specifically for teens, you can click on that as a filter and look for anything that is in the green. An easier way, and Mrs. Gaston will talk about this, we do have a teen page right off of the main library page. There is a flyer there that I know Mrs. Gaston brought some today. So you could see what kind of programs that we're having for teens. We do a lot of fun stuff, and I'm not going to step on you for that. And then what is e-teens? You don't know? I don't know either. I don't maintain this part, so let's see. Oh, so it takes you to the e-resources specifically geared towards teens. So academic search, AP Images, which is wonderful even if you just browse it. And then like the Libby just for teens, but I know when I was your age, I was reading adult books as well. And then there's also stuff like About Us. I don't know if you have like directions, but I tell literally you can walk to the library from here. We have how to contact us, what you can do with your library card. You can use your library card at any library in Allegheny County. So, like I said, there's 46 of us. The Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh serves the city, so that's the main library in Oakland. They have 18 branches in the city. And then the suburban libraries, which we have 12 in the South Hills, so you can't swing a cat without hitting a library around here. So I am going to now turn this over to Mrs. Gaston.
So Ms. Christine has up here this is our QR code to follow us on Instagram. We're really trying hard to kind of make it easy for you to find out what's going on at the library with teens. So that's a QR code. You can find it. It's really easy to remember. It's at BP Teens. And a lot of the information I'm going to talk through today, you can find like on our link in bio through the Instagram. So she mentioned the Teen Lounge. We're really trying hard to make that space a good, usable study hangout space that you guys want to be in. We do have some people that like walk to the library after school. There's whiteboards where you can collaborate on homework, work together. I try and keep an eye out to see if there are people over there, and we bring free snacks. We can help you with things like if you're trying to use a database online, there's always somebody there. The Teen Lounge is separate from where the children's department is, so you have some space, but you can always come and get us if you need help with anything over there. So right now, she mentioned that we've got a blind date with the book going on. I brought a couple just to show you. So it's just like one of our interactive displays that we have, just covered the books so that you could not judge a book by its cover and pick something that you might not otherwise pick up off the shelf. So this one's Seeking a True Crime Enthusiast, and this one is If You Like a Little Romance with Your Dystopia. So if you're interested in these, you can come check these out. I'm trying to keep them replenished throughout the month of February. And inside each package, I put it on the back just so you can see, there's a QR code here with just it's a really short, you're not writing a book review, I promise. It's literally just your name, did you like this experience, would you recommend the book? And if you fill that out, you get entered to win a gift card. So I'm trying to get people involved, coming in, checking out books, using what we have. In the Teen Lounge 2 right now, we have an interactive art gallery where you can hang your own art, check out what other teens have hung. There's some other like interactive displays, sharing book titles you like, and I try and change those out and make them interesting and fun. So in front of you, there is the teen flyer. So currently on the website is the winter teen flyer because we still have a couple of programs left in February. The spring flyer starts, like this is all of our March, April, and May programming for teens. So there's some fun things. There's some different arts and crafts, like making beaded wind chimes. There's an ongoing Dungeons and Dragons club that has been happening. I'll talk more about the Tab Chat in a minute, but there's 2 different art classes that we actually have an outside presenter coming in to do. There's a painting one and a jewelry design class, and those will be really fun. We've got 2 pop culture programs. There's a 70s pop culture coming up at the end of February that you can still register for, and it's going to involve some making of food, some crafts, some music, fashion, just all kind of fun 70s stuff happening. And then in April we'll have an 80s decade pop culture also. And then the Taste Test Challenge is more for tweens. That's a younger. So this flyer is technically 7th through 12th grade. But you'll notice there are 2 QR codes at the bottom here too. And the first one is for our book boxes, and that's something that's been kind of going on for a while. But you can scan that QR code, and it just asks you a few questions about what types of books you like to read. So you can pick, I think, your top 3 genres. You can tell us what your favorite book is that you've read or what you don't like. And then somebody from our youth services department will put together a book box for you, and then you'll get an email that it's ready, and we ask that you pick it up within like 2 weeks. But you'll pick up something like this. It looks like a pizza box. But inside, so this one was made for somebody who likes art and like romance. So, the librarian will pick out a couple books for you. Usually there's some snacks, like this has some goldfish and fruit snacks and a tea bag. It's just some fun stuff. Sometimes there's a little trinket or toy, and then a flyer if you want to sign up for another book box. And you can do that as often as you like. And when you fill them out, let us know what you thought. If you liked the books, if you hated the books, and then we can do better, hopefully, the next time. We have lots of books, something to suit everybody's taste. So that's the book boxes. And these QR codes, it went away. That's okay. I don't really need the Instagram. So to do the book box, there's a QR code on the flyer. If you are on our website and you go under the teens page, like the drop down at the top in the blue bar that Ms. Christine was showing you, the teens page has all kinds of links on it too. One of them is the link to the form for the book boxes. And on the Instagram link in bio, you can access the form that way. So trying to make it easy so you can find what you need there. There's also an art gala coming up, and this is really popular with our younger kids, but teens are absolutely welcome to participate. We're collecting artwork now through the end of the month. It has to just be original art. You can submit up to 3 different pieces. We'll hang them all over the children's department. You can have the option to have yours be auctioned off. We're going to have an actual in-person gala event, which we'll need volunteers for. That's coming up next too. But the gala event will have, I think Mrs. Glover's putting together a string quartet to play. There'll be like hors d'oeuvres. We're trying to, especially for the younger ones, kind of make it kind of a fun, fancy event where they can come and share their artwork with everybody.
And art doesn't have to be just drawing or painting. It can be photography.
Yes.
It can be fiber art. So if you crochet or
Absolutely.
I don't know if anyone does macrame anymore, but those kind of
Come
things.
to 70s pop culture. We're going to do macrame.
It doesn't have to just be painting or drawing. Mosaics, tile, anything that's an original creation. Someone submitted or is going to submit their Valentine box that they had to do at the elementary school as their art project, because I guess he made it into Groot.
I don't know. Okay.
Missy Lane was just telling me
Yeah.
about it yesterday. So I mean, not just painting or drawing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it is a really nice event, and the artwork that you can choose at the end of the month to either come back and collect your artwork if you want to keep it, and we'll take good care of it, or you can auction it off, and the proceeds will benefit the library. So just some fun things coming up with the flyer, and we're still working. So the summer is a really busy time, obviously, in all of youth services, children's and teens, and we're still putting together ideas for summer. So if you have ideas, if you have things that you want to see happen at the library, share them with us, because we will do our best to try to make them happen. So we talked about book boxes. So on the back of your flyer, there's a description of the Teen Advisory Board. So the Teen Advisory Board is a group of teen volunteers, grades 7 and up, so it can include IMS age kids. What they do is kind of twofold. On one hand, they are earning volunteer hours, right? We have lots of programming happening at the library, especially for younger kids that we need extra hands with. So Miss Elaine offers a monthly cooking class when you have a lot of first and second graders chopping and cooking, like having some teens there to help manage all of that is super, super helpful. Miss Beth and I do a STEM day like once a quarter, which involves lots of stations. We have a big, we'll need volunteers for the art gala, and we have a big Star Wars celebration coming up on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. That will probably have, 75 kids coming throughout the day. And some of these programs, like, you can come and help with during the actual program, or sometimes we need help prepping for them. Our annual tea party's coming up, and so we'll be putting together centerpieces and raffle baskets, and so you can always come and help with those sorts of volunteer, like prep stuff, as well as like the actual programming. So the other piece of the Teen Advisory Board, we call it TAB, is sharing your ideas with us, right? It's because we want to make the library, we want to make the Teen Lounge a space that is comfortable for you, that you want to be in, that's fun. We want to have programming available for teens that you want to come to, right? That you enjoy and that you're excited about. So, so that's kind of the other half of TAB, right? We both helping, getting volunteer hours, working in the library, but also helping us to make it a better place for teens especially. So we do have, one of the other things I kind of skipped over, programming. We try and have like TAB meetings at least like once a season. It kind of depends on our needs, but the next one is coming up March 23rd. We're going to try a morning instead of an after school. It's 10:30, so not too early on a Saturday morning. And I'm going to have coffee and donuts and tea and snacks and things for you. And it's super informal. It's just, you can come. I'll probably have an activity planned of some sort, just something fun. And then we'll just kind of talk, right? Like, what ideas do you have? Some of the things currently happening with teens, like Blind Date with a Book, the kind of standing art gallery that's up by the YA book area. Trying to think what else. Plants. Somebody wanted plants in the Teen Lounge. All of that came from people on TAB saying, these are things we'd like to see happen. So if you want to sign up for TAB, and again, it's like a super low commitment. Like if you scan this QR code, fill out the Google form, and again, this is also on the website, on Instagram, the link in bio. You're not committing to come to every TAB meeting. You're not committing to help with every program, right? The way it works is you'll get on an email list, and then you can kind of do what works for you. So if once you're on the email list, we'll send out potential volunteer opportunities. I'm using a Sign Up Genius right now. It seems to be working pretty well. So like a Sign Up Genius will come out like every month or two. You can look and see like, oh yeah, I can come to the art gala. I'd like to help with that event. Or I want to come prep crafts and centerpieces for the tea party and Star Wars. And then you can just kind of sign up for what you want to come to. So, and same with the TAB meetings, like if you can come, awesome. We love your ideas. And if you can't make them all, that's totally okay too. So, I forgot to talk about this. You have these two, I guess they're, flyers on your desk. These actually are not through Bethel Park specifically, but this is through Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. And they send us things like this. There's different opportunities like this all the time. I have this out in the Teen Lounge, but I thought I'd bring some to share with you. They have pretty good prizes. So there's 2 different contests coming up. One is a creative writing contest, which is short prose and poetry. The other is media, which is different, like 2D, 3D art, film, fashion, music, photography. And the first place prizes are $250. So I thought maybe somebody might be interested in participating in one of those, so I brought those. And there's, again, QR code if you want to get more information about that. So I went really fast. Do you guys have questions, or do you want to, if you have ideas? So I did put an index card and a pencil at each of your stations with all of the paperwork. And I know sometimes it's hard to share ideas out loud, but if you have any you want to share with me now, or if you want to write down anything, like think big. I can't promise we'll do it, but if there's an idea for a program or a type of decoration or seating or something that would make you more likely to come and enjoy the Teen Lounge, or ideas for anything really, interactive stuff.
I know in the past we've done like escape room for teens, and Dungeons and Dragons has become very big. We just had, and I guess this was more for younger people, but I don't know why we couldn't do it for teens. We had a drum circle come, so it can be anything that you would like to try or to do. So yeah, if you get a chance, write that down, and on your way out, you can just leave it on the corner of the table. But in the same vein of trying to introduce you to the library and trying to get you to feel comfortable using the resources, we have 2 students from DECA that are working on a project for the library. So I'm going to ask them to come up and talk about the scavenger hunt that we have going on.
Okay, so we created a virtual scavenger hunt that you can do from February 22nd, so like today, okay, and then until February 29th. And this scavenger hunt will just get you more knowledgeable about what the library has to offer and what teen events you can get involved in.
And whoever wins, I guess, first 4 people to finish it get Starbucks gift cards. So that's exciting. And yeah.
It doesn't really take that much time to fill this out and go through the website and find all the information. So it's really easy to just fill this out and just be more knowledgeable and learn more about the library.
A few of the questions may require your library card number. If you're going to do it here, I can share mine with you if you don't have your card with you. I'm very excited about this, and I'm very excited that these young ladies have taken this on for us. So we'll give you some time to do that. You have a QR code for them? Okay, great.
Thank you to Mrs. McIntosh and Mrs. Gaston for visiting us today. Thanks.